Gary and Jen here from Homestead How. Welcome to our Homestead vehicle. In today's episode, we've got a really good one for you today. Jen and I are heading to
a produce auction.
That's right, a produce auction. We've been to many auctions for our homestead to buy tools and equipment, but we've never been to a produce auction before, and there's one right down the road from our house. It happens 3 days a week. We don't know what to expect, but we're going to take you along for the ride, so let's see what happens at a produce auction. So before Jen and I head on over to the produce auction, we've been capturing a lot of video and photos of deer on and around the homestead. Here's a couple deer right down the road from us. Jen and I were joking that we should actually start a tour to show where all the deer are, because I've got a pretty good map and timing of them. This deer here was right around the corner from those other two deer we just showed, and I didn't realize there was another one right behind her, following behind. And actually, right down the road from these deer, there's a large buck, and every night around 8:30 on the dot, he comes out into the field. Here's a shot of him now. So one quick update on the UFO I spotted on our homestead and got some photos of. A lot of you have been interested in that. I was able to finally get on the phone with actually a producer from the Discovery Channel who has a show called UFO Witness, and he has access to one of the top UFO experts who's going to take a look at the pictures possibly featured in that show, and I'm going to do an update as soon as we have those pictures analyzed, so more to come. Stay tuned. So besides the deer, it's been a busy time on the homestead. The triplets just turned 14 and they're all getting a job at McDonald's. Lily has her driver's license. A couple weeks ago we had a good 4th of July and I got some of these shots. So that kind of brings things up to speed, and now let's go head on over to the produce auction and see what we can find.
56, how about 3 1/4?
So I was trying to be respectful of people here and not get their faces on camera. This produce auction was pretty awesome. As you can see here, lots of great looking fresh produce, much of it picked that very day. And the rules of the produce auction are it all has to come from within 100 miles. And the growers bring their food in, put a tag on, auction them off, and oftentimes they sell them individually or by the case, and you really have to pay attention to make sure you know what you're getting. These onions, for example, a lot of those were sold individually, but they would sell like 50 of them at a time. Similar situation for the cantaloupes and the watermelons. This produce auction goes on 3 times a week, believe it or not. We were here on a Wednesday. Cucumbers were going for pretty expensive, as was garlic. Zucchini, however, was going for really cheap. We were able to get a case of zucchini for $1 a piece. Jen and I picked up 3 cases of zucchini. And the other thing she had her eye on were some small cucumbers that we could pickle and turn into pickles. And she got a case of small cucumbers as well.
Number 3, cucumber. Number 224 count. And 3 boxes right there.
So Jen and I just finished up at the produce auction, and it was pretty cool. Something I've never experienced before. A couple of things that were very interesting were they had 2 sections. One section was for the bulk items that like a grocery store buyer would get, and then the other section was smaller lots where you could get individual things, such as this container of little baby cucumbers for making pickles that Jen got for, what was it, 15 bucks? And then in the back we have 3 cases of zucchini that I got for $1 a case.
$1.
$3 total. So I'll show you a closer shot when we get there.
And the best thing is you look at the bottom of the package and it tells you who the seller number is, and it also says the pick date. That was pretty cool too. So it tells you what day they pick it.
Most of the stuff was picked this morning or yesterday or the day before. Everything was so fresh. That was the other thing that's amazing. Like you go buy cucumbers or tomatoes from the grocery store, and oftentimes you can see they're kind of old. They're at the end of their life. They're kind of gross. You put them in your fridge for a couple days and then you got issues with them. So these ones are everything looked so fresh. It smelled really good in there. Everything was just picked recently. And we met a friend of ours, William, And he gave us kind of the lay of the land and showed us around, and it was really cool. They have this auction 15-20 minutes from our house twice a week.
No, 3 times.
3 times a week.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Can you imagine that?
We're going to head back there again now that we kind of learned some tricks of the trade.
Right.
The real key is planning things out ahead of time, deciding how much you want to pay and what you want to get, because it goes real quick.